All right, getting back to that breaking news, we've been leading the way out of Ludlow. A barge hit the Ludlow Bromley Yacht Club, several boats as well that were docked there that were also damaged.
Yeah, we have team coverage for you this morning. We have Alexis Rogers, Megan Mitchell, and Andrew Setters all on both sides of the river. They are getting the latest information, and we start right now with WLWT's Alexis Rogers, who is closest to where Ludlow Bromley used to sit there on the Ohio River. Alexis, can you kind of walk us through what you know, what you've been able to learn down there?
We know that emergency officials are still working this scene very hard. You can see here behind us more and more boat owners are coming in trying to understand what the situation is. We did get a chance to talk to the head of emergency services for Kenton County. Also got a chance to talk to the chief of police at Ludlow. And what they tell us is that the yacht club was completely pushed up the channel. 6 different boats have been destroyed, and right now the Coast Guard is interviewing the barge operator, but there's so much damage, there's so much debris in the water. They're just trying to get a hold of that right now, especially since they've cleared all of the boats. They know that no one was injured, they know that there's no fatalities, but they have told us that there's hundreds of thousands of dollars of damage, and that's what right now they're trying to figure out. We did ask them about the restaurant, and we asked them about the yacht club itself, and they tell us that based off of what they know from this owner, they know that he definitely will work very, very hard to get it back to normal as he can, but they believe, based off of what the damage that they've seen, that it won't be possible this year, that hopefully he'll be able to get it up and running again for the next season. But overall, they are very happy that there are no injuries or fatalities. Back to you.
Alexis, thank you so much. You've been out there, again, able to talk with some of the people who know the owner. You said hundreds and thousands of dollars worth of damage, but this is also a place where a lot of people on both sides of the river go to visit. Have you seen some folks coming down there just to see the damage in a place that they definitely know and love?
Yes, I mean, plenty of people checking on their friends' boats because maybe their friends are out of town, and that's an investment if you think about that. A lot of memories on those boats. I talked to one person that said they've been keeping their boat here for 2 to 3 years. Another person saying that they've been coming down here for decades, trying to just enjoy the water. I also think that it's very key to understand the tourism point of this, because I asked the chief, I said, what happens if they're not able to get this yacht club back up? And he tells me that that would be detrimental to Ludlow, that this brings in a lot of capital for Ludlow itself because so many people enjoy it. So they're definitely keeping their eyes on this from many different angles.
Yeah, something that is a staple, no doubt about where you live. But if you live in the tri-state area, you know about Ludlow Bromley Yacht Club.
Yeah, I think all of us have been there at some point. And as she mentioned, bringing a lot of people through the area, stopping to get gas, maybe stopping to get cash out somewhere. So, Alexis, thank you so much there. Yeah,
Kentucky 8's right next to that. So a lot of people go through that area. Andrew Setters been monitoring the situation on the Ohio side. He's got a great perspective of how large the scene is and how big the barge actually is, Andrew.
Yeah, this is a sizable barge here, but the thing we really want to focus on right now, because it's something we're just noticing, is the kind of the marina section over on the side of the river where Alexis is. We are seeing the opposite view of that, and you can see that there was a building there that kind of that tan, almost tent-like top to it, that is making its way into the water. It's sunk quite a bit while we have been standing here this morning over the last maybe 2 hours or so that this has been going on. So this is something that is not just going to be an issue of trying to secure these buildings and pieces of dock and everything, but it's also going to be they're going to have to raise that back up. You know, you get into environmental concerns and those kinds of issues around something like this. So that's a real concern, I'm sure, for the people who are investigating this as this unfolded this morning. But a barge apparently just hit this and ripped the Ludlow Bromley Yacht Club in half, from what we can tell this morning. We'll send it back inside to you.
Yeah, we've seen there's a lot of different questions swirling around about how this happened. Andrew, I know that Coast Guard has been on scene speaking to, it sounds like, the barge operator right now. Can you talk to us about some of the traffic that you've seen up and down the river? We've been hearing that possibly they could monitor traffic on the river. It's not shut down right now.
No, it appears as though, I mean, we haven't really seen any traffic moving up and down the river this morning, other than vessels that appear to be connected to this investigation. You can see the tug there that's separate from the tug that was pushing these barges. It's been kind of making its way around here this morning, but you've got several boats that are tangled up in that barge, and kind of the restaurant building there also attached to this. This is a big thoroughfare for commerce for this part of the country. Obviously, that is a large barge there that was making its way along the river this morning. So a lot of cargo goes through here. Any shutdown of the river begins to have an impact on commerce in this part of the country, certainly. So as they make their way through this investigation, they will be working to try to get things opened back up, and not only for the Ludlow Bromley Yacht Club, but for the river itself as well, Colin.
All right, Andrew, giving us some perspective there. Andrew, thank you. We'll get back with him soon.
Yes, and we saw from Andrew Schott just how far Ludlow Bromley Yacht Club was pushed towards Cincinnati with that barge. And WLWT's Megan Mitchell is closer to the city with perspective from the river's edge. And Megan, you're really kind of up in the middle of all of this, seeing how that restaurant and those boats were pulled along with that barge.
Yeah, I'm at the location that a lot of people are coming to see just how damaged their boat was. I'm here with folks whose boats are right there on the barge connected to the yacht club and the dock right here. And the biggest thing that they say is, thank goodness this was not on a weekend. They say that everyone sleeps on their boats on weekend nights, and they're just happy that no one was hurt here. He said that it is a tight-knit family. It's really about 10 families that have been here for decades now. It's a community on this yacht club, and the biggest question I think they're wondering is if they're going to rebuild. I mean, obviously they are worried about their boats. They know that with insurance things can be worked out, but they're really not sure about the community and the family feel aspect of this place, because the owner is getting old in age, so they're concerned that maybe they won't rebuild. They say that this place is second in beer sales to Great American Ballpark, so you can imagine just how many people come here all the time, not just those certain families that are here all the time. So it means so much to the community here in the Kentucky side of the river, and even people who are on the Ohio side of the river. I mean, in the last couple months, I've been here 3 times, and it's just great to see that everyone has a place to go when they're on the river. So the fact that you see half of this restaurant right here on this barge way past where it should be, about a football field down, it's really jarring. It's a really sad scene to see. And, even one of the folks that I talked to said that he was going to take his boat, which you could see actually is connected right here to this barge. He was going to take it to Florida with him. He's going in 2 weeks, so obviously he's concerned about whether that's going to happen or not, what that insurance looks like for him. But of course, this has messed up a lot of people's plans, and a lot of them are coming here just to see just how damaged their boat was. We were able to even use our camera to even zoom in, help him get a little closer perspective there. Reporting live here in Ludlow, Megan Mitchell, WLWT News 5.
Megan, thank you so much. I mean, just incredible. We've seen a lot transpire in the last 2 hours. We saw the one part that was still down where Ludlow Bromley initially was sitting on the Ohio River. We've seen that go underwater. We've seen that whole chunk of the restaurant be carried down the river. And again, a lot of folks impacted by this, just trying to find out how much damage is done to their boats and to other things in the area. So a lot of people will be impacted by this.
Yeah, it could impact the community as well. Hopefully they can get up LBYC ASAP, especially for those people that like to enjoy during the summertime, which we've got summertime heat right now.